I am Vinky, and this is the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, time management, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future episodes. Today's guest, Sundaram Narayanan, is an ultra cyclist from Goa who recently finished the 6,800 kilometers self supported race called the TransAm Bike Race. In 2018, just days before he was about to take to the start line of Race Across America, he met with a freak accident that resulted in him having to come back to India without starting the race. In 2019, he met with another accident in Ultra Spice race, and that was the end to his dreams of making it to the RAAM 2019 as well. In this episode, he shares how he dealt with the disappointments and the unfortunate accidents in 2018 and 2019 and got back to ultra cycling. He shares his experience at the challenging TransAm Bike Race. He talks about the many memorable experiences and the kind people he came across, as well as the challenging mechanicals he had to overcome to get to the finish line. It was also interesting to hear about his origins in ultra cycling with a base he built as a paper delivery boy as an youngster. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. This episode is brought to you by The Bike Affair. If you are in search of a one stop destination that caters to all your cycling needs, our today's sponsor, The Bike Affair, is the perfect place to check out. I have known the founders of The Bike Affair, Krish and Gokul, personally for nearly 15 years now. In fact, my first century ride was with Krish back in 2008. They are both exceptional human beings and entrepreneurs that believe in providing exceptional service to their customers. And it shows. With over 14 years of experience, the Bike Affair has established itself as a trusted source offering honest advice and exceptional service. They are offering a special treat for the listeners of this podcast. You can enjoy a 10% discount on your first order by using the code BikeyWenky on their website. So if you are in Hyderabad, visit their store in Kondapur, or if you are anywhere else in India, shop online by using the link thebikeaffair.com. I will leave the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy the podcast. Welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast, Sundar. It is pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, me too. It is a great pleasure talking to you, and thank you for arranging this interview.
Excellent. First of all, congratulations on your successful completion of TransAm, Trans American race, right? So, how was the experience?
Yeah, thank you. The experience was really wonderful. I was preparing for the race across America, the supported bike race in 2018. So since then, it is kind of the lot of ups and downs in the
I know. So, you were referring to the time when in 2018 you were, about to take part in race across America. You went to what is that? Oceanside, right?
Yeah. I
Where?
was the training in California, San Diego before the race.
Hmm.
I actually reached 10 days prior to the race start, and I was training for a couple of days as soon as I reached there. And it is very unfortunate. I didn't expect that the small accident which made me out of the race, and it was really a disappointing moment. I fractured my left big thumb, and which is the main thing that you have to brake a lot and shift the shifters, and
Okay.
that made me the situation really worse. Like say now since that accident, it was really challenging for me, prove myself that in the ultrasonic community that I need to come back from the scratch level, you know.
Hmm. Right. Eh,
Like, yes, please.
No, it is really unfortunate that you've put in so much effort in training. I've seen it, firsthand. We used to talk often during that time about your training and everything, and the kind of effort you put in preparation to that, and the kind of support you also received from the community, the friends in Goa, for you to make it to the start line. It is very unfortunate that a freak accident had resulted in you you know not able to start that race. It is such a downer, not only, I mean, obviously for you, but also for all your supporters, including myself. It is so disheartening to see that unfortunate accident happening to you, that you were not able to uh, even start the race, right?
Yeah, that was
um,
the
yeah.
kind of experience I went through. And the post race, it was really difficult for me myself, being out to ride with the people and even the communication. I was, kind of for about 6 months isolated myself. I
Hmm.
I, I couldn't tolerate such an incident, such a big, the project is so big, so many people involved, directly, indirectly. It's not kind of the race that I did like a transam, like, you prepare yourself solo. Even though there are, yeah, many direct, indirect supporters throughout the race, whether it is a self-supported or yeah, kind of ram race. And not only that, I was trying again for the next year in 2019, when I was took part in the ultra spice race, which starts from Goa to Uti and back, with the supported. It's also a kind of, before I go to RAM, kind of training for me as well as a crew.
Hmm.
Then again, very unfortunate situation. I met with an accident close to the Jog Falls in Karnataka. So these two situation was, again I went through a big low, uh, and then I have to take a break, cycling almost 4 to 6 months to recover myself. Um, God's grace, I did not break any bones, but the injury was a little worsened. The bruise all over the body, and that's a kind of situation I overtook. And if you ask me, then what made you to choose the TransAm Bike Race? Then ultimately, I was preparing for the supported race, kind of Pune to Goa, Deccan Cliffhangers, and so I was in
Be-
a, yeah.
before we get there before we
Yes,
get there
yeah,
let us touch upon a little bit about the feelings immediately after incidents like that, right? For both the accident before the ram 2018, and again you mentioned that once you came back from there, you almost isolated yourself for almost 6 months,
yes,
right? After that you picked yourself up, and then were preparing for ultra spice, and going through that. So
yes.
let us talk a little bit about the period, the 6 months period after ram. What you went through, what were the emotions, why you had to kind of why you felt compelled to isolate yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the first reason was, the project is such a big thing. There are many people involved. From the start to financial supporters and the mechanical as well as, and there is a cycling fraternities in Goa. Themselves they came forward like a crowdfunding itself. That put me in a big prospect that we, even though we could get the good support, but we couldn't make it to the at least the start line. And that thought made me like, what made me like introspect, like what could be the reason, what I could have done a better to avoid these kind of situation. Then I also look forward the kind of reason why these are the kind of things happening, how to avoid it. Yeah, better team could have made it not to happen this kind of accident. Then moreover I also went for kind of training coaching, a life coaching with which give me an opportunity to learn lot about this. It's not only about the race, it's entire life, how to cope up with the ups and downs and move forward, and also look forward what is your a right goal in a short term as well as a long term. So I trained myself like accept the things as it is, move forward, and look for the solution, how to avoid such a situation, and prepared for any challenges during the race or after the race. So that was a thing, the first, the post ram itself as well as the uh, after this the Goa
Ultra
to
spicy event.
ultra spice
Hmm.
event.
Hmm.
And then after, I did not have any such a big incident.
What is the I mean, when was this life coaching thing you were talking about,
Soon after April, May, I got into the. I came back. You know that June month itself, I came back before start of the race. Like it went up. It was in 2018. After 6 months, I joined this course.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, there was many looking like kind of mind was going through a big turbulence. Even though I got an new project launched at professional front, and you have to balance your the other things as well, family, you know.
On the professional front, you are a doctor, right? And
No, I'm an paramedical who work closely with the doctor for the cancer patient to take care of the radiation safety for the patient as well as the staffs at the hospital.
okay.
I also look for the regulatory affairs related to
Mhm.
radiation safety.
Okay, okay. Right. And when you said I joined this life coach course, how what is involved, and how did it help you?
This course was a weekly meeting course. The expert will organize in a weekend, Saturday or Sundays, and they have a kind of manual each and every aspects. It's a kind of very planned, very well planned manual that will let you start from the each aspects of the life. Kind of in simply I would say, like say if you take up in a cycling say 100 kilometer route, then you would have a kind of planning for each and every aspects, kind of training you need to have, kind of about nutrition and hydration as well. And you also look for the elevation, you don't look for the elevation that is completely flat, and that there will be kind of ups and downs and slopes. And accordingly, there is a life prospects also we need to approach in such a way that we have to plan in such a way, we have to accept those ups and downs in actual life, whether it
Beautiful.
is, yeah, whether it is in a trouble with your bicycle during the core race, or trouble with yourself, your body is not cope up with you, and we have to accept and think how we can overcome those difficulties.
Right.
So that was the thing I learned through that, and accept the situation as it is and look for the solution.
Hmm.
Don't, I mean, emotionally or physically, rather going down, and look alternative solution. Okay, there is a X problem, and what is the best solution we could have taken, and move on that.
Hmm. So, how did while you were taking this course, and it kind of helped you get, I imagine, to get back on track and prepare for the next year's in preparation to next year's RAM. You were going through this ultra spice race, and then this incident happens again. Some similar incident that resulted in you crashing,
Yeah,
and with that put you out, not just for that race, but also any prospects of doing RAM that year, right?
exactly.
S- so, and how did back to back this that incident before starting RAM 2018, and now in 2019, the next very next year, after going through the emotional turmoil of the burden of mental burden of feeling responsible for a- all the supporters that backed you, right? That was
Yeah,
what was putting you down in
exactly.
2018 after the
Yes.
race.
Yeah.
You somehow after months of struggling with that kind of burden, you came out of that and were taking this course and trying to cope up, back get back into the game, and this happens. How did you deal with that once that
Yeah,
kind of happened?
exactly. Once that I was on the course itself, I come to the conclusion that what is my short-term goals and a long-term goals. So I prepared in that chart itself. What is my routine going to be? Kind of bicycling and the family time, as well as the professional time, and I planned, and I the small chart I fixed in front of the my bedroom. So every day I used to watch it all. So
What did
I,
that chart look like?
it's a kind of A4 sheet, and
Hmm.
it's a whole plan you will have on for another 10 years.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, you may call it as a goal chart or kind of things.
Or a
Uh,
vision chart
yeah, vision
of.
chart. We can say vision chart better. It's
Right.
better. Yeah.
Hmm.
So then it's not any kind of very aggressive training. It's a kind of usual, very normal fitness kind of training. And then eventually I had set up my mind, whatever things going to happen, like I'm going to face it through challenge, whatever challenge I'm happening, that I'm going to make it that work for me. Rather, I feel like, like why this is happening for me, kind of emotional burden and kind of things. It never happened, but it
Hmm.
happened once in a transom. But I will discuss during that discussion.
Right.
It is not always that we are 100% up on the race course.
Right.
There will be a slight yeah, joyful moment, maybe 70%, and 30% there will be a sufferings.
Right. Like
So
like the course,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
So it is always there. And the good thing was, even those that crash, I did not expect that kind of things that with I would face with my own crew team,
Hmm.
which was the car hit me from behind, which is it is very unfortunate. In fact, the good thing about is I was able to get back, another 3 4 months back
Hmm.
on the saddle. So I'm happy on that part. The damage was there, but not significantly very big.
Hmm.
So I have to move on that, and also the family also very supportive. Yes, everybody, that moment won't accept that these kind of things with the family, even in the professional front, and you are having a new project you just launched last year, and you are taking off, like in a month.
Hmm.
So that was really a difficult situation for me.
Hmm. Right. S- So, but you were able to, since you had that kind of vision chart, and you were working on yourself on how to deal with difficult situations, you were able to kind of get out of that situation relatively, uh, easier compared to the situation where you were in 2018. Is that an accurate understanding?
Yeah, damage was worse than 2018, but
Hmm. Were you in a better situation mentally to
yeah,
deal with it?
exactly, exactly.
Hmm. Right.
I was
Okay.
very well prepared.
Hmm. To kind of expect those downturns as well as the highs, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Right, right. So you, I mean, from then on uh, to say now, right? 2019, that incident happened,
Yeah.
and then we all know about the pandemic and the situation after 2019. How did how was your thinking process in terms of your attitude towards competitive events, be it local races or events like RAM, and what was your outlook, say, in terms of goals, in participating in events like that? How did it proceed from there?
Yeah, after that incident, it took me around 4 to 6 months for the recovery, complete recovery.
Hmm.
Then again, I started slowly. Then the thing comes. If I again think about the RAM, it would cost me really a big money, and
Right.
again we need to make some crowdfunding or any financial support to move forward. And then I decided, okay, why not I go for a self-supported rides.
Hmm.
So then I made up my mind that okay, let's look forward whichever the event comes in self-supported. Then I mentally prepared, and I was working towards that. Like say, it was in a very short duration. I did not prepare much, maybe 3 to 4 months intense preparation. Other than that, no much preparation, and even the about the bike gears, like the winter kit and other bike gears also not much as I did for the preparation TransAm.
Hmm.
It is
So for TransAm, yes, but were there any events that you took part in the years between now and 2019, like 2020? Not many events, but 21, 22, anything at all, or just normal riding?
the bigger event was the longest I did before the Transam was the Goa to Ooty. It is a 1,100 miles race and 1,750 kilometer. It starts from Goa and ends in Ooty and come back to Ooty. And after that, there is no big
W-
event.
When was this?
This happened just before the pandemic started
Ah, okay.
in
Yeah.
in the year of 2020.
Jan Feb 2020, I think.
Yes.
Right? Hmm.
During that race also, it is not that easy. I was suffering close to the joke falls knee pains because of the winter, and there were a lot of animal crossing zones where I was informed by public people that not to try yourself going alone, and even they sometime offered me, please stay with us in the night and you can ride in the daylight while you are risking yourself. So I have to, I actually I did kind of rest where I can avoid those elephant corridor zones. And even a dog menace also was there in certain part in early morning. And I remember that I had a conversation with my close friend on what I am supposed to do. And of course we have had a very bad years the last couple of years. Then we need to look forward yeah, safe ride, not worry about the numbers, whether it is the first or second doesn't matter. So I chosen the safe spot, and accordingly I finished the ride comfortably. However, I suffered a sleep deprivation, and it's the worst part is I know the place the close to Karwal. I have done many rides. It's looked me the sleep deprivation and the hallucination made me I'm riding some new roads. Yeah,
Right.
every the roads looks like I never ridden like kind of things. So
Right.
that
Hmm.
was the experience.
So you have done that event or the ride, and that was the longest before the Trans Am. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, okay. And I mean, you kept riding in between during the pandemic and the 2021 and 22. And when did this idea of Transam, taking part in Transam come about, and how was the preparation for it leading
The
up to
the
Transam?
transom came up soon after this. I finished the 1,750 kms. Like say I mentally prepared that okay, um, again the best opportunity to do the race with the less expenses transom only. So 2021 itself I made up an idea that okay, I want to do the race. So I started preparing, collecting the informations through the friends, through social media. Eventually I thought I have to appear in 2022,
Hmm.
but then I couldn't make up an kind of proper training as well as arranging all the bike gears required. It's really difficult at that time. Then I even also I thought, why don't I do similar long distance in India itself? That idea also did not work for some reasons. So since then, 2000 the mental preparation is there, but my actual training started like say 6 months before the transfer.
Hmm.
This training is basically I did not take a coach from anybody. So since I have had an experience with the previous three coaches, including you, so I used so those experience. I did a plan myself that how much training miles and hours is required weekly. And one of my friend, very close friend, who lives in US, and he had already done the RAM as well as the TransAm Bike Race in 2019.
Nice.
I would say he is my the coach, as well as my big brother. I would consider that he was really a great person, and always, kind of motivating and giving his the best support what he can do for me. And I was following his all the inputs, the start from collecting the bike gears, as well as the training hours, and nutrition part. And throughout the course also, he was constantly, keep following me and giving me a kind of support. It's a lifetime memory for his
Hmm.
all his experience he has shared with me.
Right. So let us come to the start of the Transam, right?
Yeah.
For the viewers, let us define what what is Transam race, what does it involve, and in terms of distances and the way it is kind of the rules that you have to follow and stuff like that.
Yeah. The TransAm Bike Race is basically one of the premier self-supported bike race in the US. It starts from Oregon, Astoria, um, which is a coastal area, and the distance is 6,800 kilometer, and there is no checkpoints along the route. The time to finish the race, it depends on you. You can finish in 17, 18 days, or you can finish in 100 days. There is no problem at all. And the course starts from west to east. It has a kind of, you pass through um, kind of mountains, Rocky Mountains, and there are certain it's called
The
Hussein
deserts,
Pass.
the plains. Hmm.
Yeah, Hussein Pass, which is the highest mountain pass in that course, which has 2,500 feet of elevation gain, and it is a half course. So once you cross that half course, the highest peak in the race, it means that you are done almost 90% of the race course. And then you pass through the plains. The challenge is in the plains, like, you never know when the weather will change. Yeah,
Hmm.
certainly you will, caught up with a thunderstorm and a hailstorm and kind of situation. And as you soon pass the plains, then there are Appalachians, and there is a constant climbs, ups and down, and the finishing part is really nice. And it's the last 100 miles, which is around 160 kilometer, is very pass through the cycling path, and it is very enjoyable. And if, of course, a rider is passing through daytime, is it is great to watch all the sceneries. And but if you unfortunately go in night, there is a less part to enjoy over there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but are there like is the route route, or can you take whatever path you can from starting point to the end point? How does it work?
The route is already very well defined
Mm.
before start of the course. And I think the before 10 days to the course, everything is given for you, and
Mm.
you can plan the course as you want, like, where you can stop for the food and stay kind of things, you can mark on the course. Maybe little bit deviation is accepted, of course, and you follow that. But the major change on the course is not allowed.
Mhm.
For like, kind of, you cannot do the exchange bike years with the fellow rider if it is a solo rider. And like, you cannot take something from your close friends who offer food or whatever it is. It, of course, it should be absolutely a random public help,
Mm-hmm.
or
Right.
any volunteers, whatever the support they provided.
Mm.
So that kind of things.
So it is self-supported in, in its truest sense. You cannot accept support from your friends and
Y-
someone you,
yeah,
if it is outside public
yeah,
offering help, you can of course take it, and you keep
yeah,
moving.
yeah. It has to be a
Uh,
genuine reason to accept kind of things.
right.
And
Okay.
actually, the ultimately the race rule says that the help that provided by anybody should also be benefited by the other fellow riders. You know what I mean to
Hmm.
say? That is
Right.
the
It should be
rules.
it
Yeah,
should be available equally for
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So, what were your 6,800 kilometers is is a distance more than RAM distance, but of course the uh, time cutoffs are not there.
Yeah,
That is one provision, that is like, and you don't need support crew.
exactly.
It is exactly opposite to having any support crew. it
Yeah,
is all it is all self supported.
yes.
So what was involved in your logistics planning? What were the things, what were the essentials that you needed to carry for a race like this?
Yeah, it needs very meticulous preparation. You should have your winter kit. The winter kit involves like kind of wind cheater, and also to protect the temperature below 15 degree, a a winter jacket, lightweight especially, and rain jackets, and a good waterproof winter gloves, and waterproof shoe covers. In fact, somebody carries the waterproof socks also, but even I carried, but it did not help. And at certain point, in the heavy rain, and two pairs of cycling, a bib short and a jersey, and also a emergency sleeping bag, very light one. Other
Hmm.
than that, we need to have a bright light, about more than 1,000 lumens of lights. At least should be two lights. One is main and one is for the emergency replaceable. And I run with the dynamo lights, which is really good and more brighter. And as well as I had a emergency light, 11,100 lumens. So to manage the like charging, and to avoid the time, and save your weight as well, I need to look for which is very less weight rear lights, and you can put the batteries. So you require a minimum three. Two is mainly required, and one additional for emergency.
Hmm.
So the I also carried a spare cleats, and a couple of spare tubes and spare tires, and a lightweight toolkits,
Hmm.
and an affordable pump, and there are a lot of emergency medications.
Right.
And I used very less saddle sore related medicines, or the cream, whatever.
Hmm.
And if you say the bike gears, everything that I carried, you don't require anything in, even in the adverse situation.
Hmm.
So I am free to ride at any time. I
Hmm.
am free to stay anywhere. whether it is a,
Right.
except whether it is a cold or rain. But in the rain, if it is very light, it is okay.
Hmm.
But if you're stuck in the mountain, the temperature goes down below 7 degree, 5 degree. It is difficult to manage because it is not one day ride. We are riding, you know, for 3 to 4 weeks. Your body and mind will be in a such a tired.
Right.
So that time at that time you don't think that you need to rest outside with the available gears with you.
Hmm.
So, but the preparation should be you are ready to, challenge or make in a sleep arrangement anywhere according to the situation.
Right. So these are all the bike gears in terms of winter wear and rain gear
Yeah,
and all that you have taken,
yeah,
and also the spares that you mentioned.
yeah.
What did you carry in terms of nutrition essentials, or did you rely on something on the course? Which, I mean, it is almost impossible to carry food that is needed for almost a month, right? But how, what did you carry? How did you manage your nutrition aspect?
Exactly, you will be amazed to listen this. I didn't plan for much about the nutrition part because I did not even have like what you say, electrolyte capsules. I did
Hmm.
not have it. I had it, but I did not use it. The food that I use is basically sometime I ensure drink liquid. It is available in the at the Walmart or some of the gas stations, which is basically a meal replacement, and most of the RAM riders use it.
Carb
Yes,
carb
it's
drink.
it's a complete meal.
Hmm.
It has it carbs, it has it some protein and some other minerals as well. So
Okay.
it's a kind of, but you cannot completely fully dependent on like an supported race. But once in a
Right.
while you can take it up. And I
Hmm.
used to buy it around say 2 liters and fill with all the bottles. And I also used to take 1 or 2 bottles at a time.
Hmm.
And other than that, there is an energy bars which is available. It is not actually a athletic energy bars. It is a kind of energy bars where the kind of snack that travelers used to do at the gas
Hmm.
station. That
Hmm.
is the kind of the peanuts, the roasted peanuts, the honey roasted peanuts, and salted peanuts. And like in India, we used to say chikki. It is also available in other form kind of chikkis there, and banana and sometime apple.
Hmm.
Oh, these are my on course nutrition.
Hmm.
So once I stop, I used to catch up some chicken burger or the pizzas, or sometime in the West, I really love to have the Mexican food. What I really forgot that name. It's a kind of roll. You get all the carbs, protein, and everything.
Uh-huh.
So in the
Burrito.
burritos, exactly.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
I love them.
I,
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it's a complete meal which has good protein and carbs and other things. So in the
Hmm.
West, you mostly get,
Right.
and as you move close to the East, only restaurant it is available. But we don't go to the restaurant, and it is a waste of time for
Right.
you go and wait for So yeah, other than that, there is no planned nutrition part.
So mainly gas stations and whatever is available there
Ye-
and stuff like that. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, and now we talked about the gear you need, the nutrition part. So, how many kilometers per day were you covering? How, where were you resting? What was the frequency? Stuff like that.
Yeah, so my plan was to ride around close to 300 to 320, but
Mhm.
the day one only I covered 360 kilometer, but it was quite kind of at the beginning little headwinds, and as you move the second half of the course, it was completely tailwind, so it was easy to ride. And the first day I stayed at the motel.
Mhm.
There were other riders joined me at the end. So I was riding last couple of hours with them and introducing yourself, and they are exchanging a lot of informations. And there was one couple of riders. I don't remember their name actually. We
Mm.
shared the room, and the second day I slept outside. I don't
Mhm.
know that. I don't remember the name. It was late night. I was looking for these some motels, but it's everything is shut down after 7:38. You don't find anything, or if you are lucky, call up them and book. Rarely it is possible. But unfortunately, my mobile network was worse for the first few days, and I could not contact anyone. I supposed to book the motel, and just in front of the motel there was some chairs. Then I just rested there for 3 hours with the emergency sleeping bag, and I moved on. But before that, I was sleep deprived. It's a lot of downhill and climbing, and it's pretty cold, and the crosswinds are very intense crosswinds. I could not even brake at the downhills, and my body, when you are going a downhill and you want to rest, body feels kind of I want to immediately sleep. But there are
Right.
situation I shout myself not to keep me awake, just to avoid that sometimes bike goes here and there because of the tiredness. So that situation, what I did the another day, I have no option to sleep there. It is very windy course and downhill, and it's completely kind of hill and village road.
Mhm.
And finally, after shouting and making me doing kind of I used to recite some mantras. It's really I love to do that. So this was the thing that I kept me keep going. And luckily I found there was some park, but it's a middle of the hilly part, and some I would say it's a very remote village. There is no
Mhm.
safety at all.
Mm.
Luckily there was light and some bench provided. I did not think a second thought, just rested for
Bench
another.
was there inviting, and you just laid down and
Yeah,
slept.
yeah, 3 hours. I just took a very nice rest, and I woke up automatically. There is no alarm set for it. The reason is the emergency sleeping bag. You just covered up. My our body heat itself gives you sweating inside. It won't get absorbed.
Right.
So you cannot have a more rest. So that was the third day experience.
Hmm.
The fourth day is you don't believe at all. I
Uh-huh.
supposed to take a room and fresh up myself. Unfortunately, there is a summit called Chief Joseph, and I crossed it. But after that crossing the summit, and I got up with the light rain followed by very heavy rain.
Mhm.
All my rain gears and my waterproof gloves and shoes, everything got wet, and the temperature is around 7-8 degrees.
Wow.
I literally scared that moment. Then the next part is I am looking for the another town. I have to ride another 30 kilometer. I kept going. Then the rain also gone, and due to the continuous ride, body temperature kept me keep going.
Right.
So at the end of the part where I supposed to take a bike friendly hostel, it is in 11:30, and there is nothing open, and it is a village.
Hmm.
Like in the mountains, you don't get many choice to stay. You
Right.
have to be pretty sure you are reaching on time or communicating with them to stay prayer night.
Right.
So I entered into the pub which was open. So I have no internet. I have to borrow Wi-Fi. I asked one gentleman that if possible to share his Wi-Fi, mobile Wi-Fi. Then he immediately, okay. Then I was searching for the option, and he said, "Man, you don't find anything at this time, and even though if it is there, nobody will help you. So why don't you stay here?" And
In
I
the
said,
pub.
"Yeah, they have a kind of a hotel and lodging facility and everything."
Hmm.
Then I asked, "What is the charges?" They said, "It's about $200." Oh, I'm going to stay only for 4 hours. So I would leave early morning, say around 4 to 5 a.m. I'm not affordable. I need to look for alternative options. So the gentleman did not hesitate. Okay, don't worry about that. You stay the same hotel. You don't go out. It is really cold, and still you were riding in the rain, and you already made up very late here. Why didn't you stay here? Then he himself offered me booking the hotel, and he ordered me pizzas at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very strange for me. I mean, someone just come forward, help us, and it was kind of great relief for me, and I thanked him, and also very joyful moment for him as well, and I enjoying his weekend and shared some pictures, and we had a communication postage few days, and that was for me, one of the
Very nice
very,
memories.
yes, nice memories forever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Strangers just, coming out and helping you like that is always,
it
very, very
is.
heartening.
Of course, there are many such a moments in the for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Please go
Yeah.
ahead. Mm.
So I think it is in the state of Kentucky, and I went for the breakfast. I was a little hungry. I ordered some bread and some egg based. There was a gentleman sitting in front of me. He finished almost.
Mm.
I just had a glance. I did not even talk to him. Then I finished. I went to the counter to pay the bill, and the counter woman said, "Oh no, your bill is already paid by this gentleman." Oh really? I was really shocked. I did not even talk to him, and he did not even, face to face looked at me.
Yeah.
And for me, this is the second surprise. so, so what was me, paying back them? The
Right.
paying back is like it was my routine every day. I used to gratitude myself to
Mm.
everybody, whatever the help I get along the course, whatever the help I got for the to you know to take part this race itself. This
Right.
was my routine. That gives me more joyful moment in the morning, a very early morning, and I used to do this gratitude.
Right. Start with
Yeah.
gratitude routine to
Yes.
kickstart the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
And apart from that, my sleeping choice is like some volunteers offered me, took me their home and provided me bed, food, and you don't believe. they immediately get washed all my clothes in the washing machine and get completely dried. And in the early morning 4:30 a.m. everything is ready, your breakfast and some food snacks to carry along the route. And I said them previous night before the dinner, I don't want to disturb you guys, because it is so much you guys are doing, like, you know a stranger's house, someone going and staying. And normally we sometimes think about,
Yeah.
so it is
We
it
don't
was
want to trouble them, right?
yeah, I don't want to trouble them much. And even he asked me and made me a food of my choice.
Amazing.
He prepared me a dinner with a rice and some pork sausage based, the quick, whichever is possible. And I couldn't forget this, forever.
Right. Right.
This is another very nice moment. And one more experience in Kentucky State. I supposed to go for the bike friendly church. There are certain church in the US. They help the bicycle tourists and the racers, and they are happy to provide whatever the help they require. I was looking for the this church, and it is the counter and the office, and everything is closed. We were there around 9:30 p.m. And also eventually the one of other riders joined me at that time, looking for the stay in the same hostel. I mean the church. Then I knocked the in front of the door just next to the church, and gentleman came out. And oh yeah, of course, we are very happy to help you out. So first tell me, do you want dinner? Have you had a food? Yeah, because we are really hungry and we were looking for the some food and as well as the stay, and there is no one to contact right now. He immediately arranged all the dinner, and followed by there were the me and one more rider who is Italian, and provided bike hostel keys, and he brought some blankets from his home, and make sure and everything is comfortable for us. And there are some, even the bike hostel has some spare tubes, and there are some gears, and there are clothes. You don't need a separate clothes. There are the clothes, you can use it and leave it for any other races whoever comes. So seeing such a things, I was amazed by their help and support. This kind of help, voluntarily they came forward. And it's not only one occasion, there are many more occasions. They made me so happy, and very unexpected things for me, like in India we do get a lot of support. In India it is very different.
Right. Right. No,
That
we tend to follow the TransAm group on Facebook, and all the people there, follow the dot watchers basically,
yeah,
and a lot of these volunteers you are talking about are part
exactly,
of that group,
yeah,
and
exactly.
they post pictures of you to
Yeah,
there, and it is really really heartening to see the kind of support network there is for the race,
yeah,
right? All through the route there are every year these people, the same people,
yes,
volunteer to take care of the riders, support the riders in whatever way, provide them places to stay, fresh food, and places to freshen up and all
exactly,
this.
yeah.
That it is such a amazing community, virtual, coming together in real and helping,
Yeah,
right?
for me, I did not even seen, I mean, followed up the previous any of the race and not watching or like this. Like you said, not only the dot watchers, public also coming
Yeah.
forward. I
Hmm.
had one experience that I was just passing through in Kentucky, and I supposed to book a accommodation. I was such fiddling with my phone to connect the next hotel available, and a gentleman came from house and suddenly, "Hey, are you looking for some help?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I don't have any." "No, why don't you come to our house?" He invited me, took me to their house, and yeah, Gatorade and bananas, water, and we shared a few happy moments about the race and all these things. And so I think that picture also came on the post. I think so. And my friend was WhatsApp me, "Hey man, you are having a really good time out there." Yeah. so so uh, there are more couple of occasions. It is, you may not have heard about that.
Hmm.
Before the Kentucky, it was in the Kansas. I finished my ride almost in the 8:30 p.m. in the evening. I went to catch up some food at the gas station, and then I looked at around 9, and I looked at the weather. It was really dark and like some dark clouds. Then I was in discussion with my friends. Hey, what to do now? I mean, I'm in mind whether to move or stay. Um, that city is a very small city, very rural city. It does not have any hotels or motel. And I went seeing the Google map, but it doesn't exist in that name.
Right.
Then they suggested, why don't you look for some park to camp and do sleep yourself. And then I, during in charge of the campsite and near park, suddenly a heavy rain and with a hailstorm and lightning. It was very strong storm. So I cannot move anywhere. But I was at the side of the one of the hospital, local hospital. Then I was waiting for more than a half an hour. The rain did not stop. Then it started very cold. Then I look for that night. However, I have to rest. I wanted to spend a good rest. Rather, I could have, I mean, slept just side of the hospital with the emergency sleeping bag at all. But I thought, why don't I try something where I can find the good accommodation. Then I just went to in front of the hospital, knocked one stranger's door, and I just asked them if there is any possibility I look for around some sleeping place, and they suddenly suggested, don't look around anywhere. Just wait for the moment. They called their hospital staff, and they arranged me uh, bed in the emergency waiting room.
Wow.
So then she said, I'm working in that hospital, so you don't worry about that. So I took very nice rest of about 6 hours, and I started in the early morning. So I could not, I mean, just thank for them, such a big help,
Right.
Um, so these also very strange. I mean, I did not think about this kind of help I am going to get. It is
Right.
it is just a situation that connected such a people, helping forward. And similar thing, the very next day, same Kansas City, I finished that day almost 200 kilometer. It's around say in 7:30 in the evening. Again, I'm just checking the weather, and in the plains, you don't find many houses or any shelters if there is a rain or a storm. You have to be pretty sure um, the weather conditions and the statistics, when it is going to be rain and what distance we have to cover, or where we are going to look for the shelter to stay. You have to be pretty sure. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare. Like,
Hmm.
suddenly my friend says, why don't you move on if you don't want to stay there? Then I said, okay, let's move on. We'll see whatever it is. As soon as I started covered 15 to 16 kilometer, the very heavy rain with the storm, I literally shocked. Except one house near to me at the distance of 1 kilometer, nothing else in front of me. So
Hmm.
I, without a second thought, I just approached that house. I just told them that I need a couple of hours to just uh, get over this
Let the
rain.
storm pass.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the gentleman told me he came out and he checked. He was there are localities, like they predicted. I think this would not affect you till you pass the other town. Okay, let's wait. In a moment, like so in a few seconds, hailstorm, very strong winds. You know, they also surprised. Then
Hmm.
they said, okay, you can stay as long as you want till rain pass. And they also, gave me some snacks and fruits. Then I was waiting till 4:30. The rain did not go.
Hmm.
So I slept. They also provided all the arrangements to sleep with the blankets and the other thing. But I thought maybe I can take a rest for a couple of hours till the storm passed. But unfortunately, it went till early morning. Then I started on the early morning. This was the other experience with the strangest place. Because
Hmm.
I would like to share another incident. One of the racers who finished, I mean, he was not finished the race. He was riding along, and he was in sixth place, I guess. While passing through these plains, he got with the rain and thunder with the lightning. He got scared. He quit the race.
Hmm.
He quit the race.
Okay.
So
That is, it is a possibility, right? It is,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Because
yeah.
you never know in the middle of the plains, there is nothing to hide. You have
Right.
a two choice: you keep riding, or you find a shelter. There is no
Hmm.
other options left out unless somebody coming forward to pick you up, whoever passing
Right.
through. That also can use. You can take the taxi ride from there, car, whatever it is, move wherever you want, going to the shelter, then come back and start.
Hmm. Come
So
back to the same point and
same
start.
point you start. So that
Hmm.
is the other option. So I have other options with me. What
Hmm.
I am supposed to do next? So
Right.
so
But
uh,
the strangers were there to kind of help you.
yeah,
You got
exactly.
lucky
If
that way.
they if I mean, if they are not there, then the situation would have been worst.
Much harder. Much harder.
Oh yeah, we never know, like what is going
Yeah.
to happen.
Right.
So similar situation, one of the other rider who was almost 10 plus hours, he found some over bridge. He just uh, hiding in that place for the rain till get over. I think that it
Wow.
is on the same plains. I think somehow luckily he
Hmm.
got that bridge and he took the shelter. Otherwise,
Shelter under the
yeah,
bridge.
under the bridge. So
Hmm.
otherwise, it would have been a really worse situation.
Right.
So,
Right.
so why I'm mentioning that, if any rider to who wants to take up this challenge, you have to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
If I'm saying honestly, you don't believe me. I want to share this. I have
Hmm.
given everything to my wife. I took a big coverage insurance. I gave all
Hmm.
the password, including my contact number of Indian, to my wife. But She may not know why I'm giving. I hope you
Hmm.
understand.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is a risk kind of thing. It's,
Yeah,
anything can happen on a journey as
yeah,
long as this, and, as treacherous a course like this, you can encounter, you know,
yeah,
if, there are good people, good Samaritans
yeah,
all over the place, like you just described, but also there are bad elements, like be it environmental elements, be
yeah,
it human elements,
exactly.
and it is never, we cannot take anything for granted,
Yeah.
right?
I even
Yeah.
prepared, even if I'm encountering with the person with the pistol or the knife to, rob you, I'm ready to pay him. Yeah,
Hmm.
some part of the amount kept hidden and some part of the amount to ready to give. You take whatever you want. It is a kind of negotiation you should have. You should be ready,
Hmm.
not too scared of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there is
Right.
no point fighting with them for any reason, looking for somebody to
Hmm.
help to tackle that situation. So if,
Right.
if you voluntarily offer something, of course, every human have some kind of, yeah, positive attitude inside them.
And
Yeah,
they can settle for a bargain. Yeah.
of course, yeah. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was the preparation I had it in me.
Nice, nice. So these were some of the nice moments throughout your experience. What are the hardest challenging moments during your transam uh,
Yeah,
experience?
the hardest moment started soon after the third day, when I passed through the mountains. The first 10 days, it is all mountains. There is eight mountains you have to summit. And I did not have a training in a cold temperatures, like say below 10 degrees, below 15 degrees. See, up
You
to
are in Goa, yeah.
yeah, it's a tropical country. So up to 15 degree is okay, but when it is drops down less than 15, then my knees started hurting.
Hmm.
So it is not only the cold, we are riding continuously. Your physical tiredness and lack of nutrition, in the sense there are nutrition, but it is not 100% as we do. And
Hmm.
the lack of sleep and recovery. Sleep is there, recovery is there, but how much? I almost tried 16 to 18 hours. We get only 4 hours of sleep.
Right. It's not
So
enough.
yeah, so then I changed my strategy, riding 300 kilometer, then it falls down to 280, then
Hmm.
more of sleep and rest. Then also I have to use kind of medication, painkillers to tackle that situation. You don't believe, at one point, I stuck in the mountain. There is no other options. There is no other options, uh, except staying in that hotel, which charged me $250.
Oh.
It is
Hmm.
10:30 p.m. It's raining outside. Very strong wind. My knees are paining, and the fingers are completely numb, and I completely wet. So if I have to take maybe another $50 or $100 less priced hotel, I have to ride another 30 kilometer down to the mountain.
Right.
So I have no options left out. The good thing about is, here the decision is very important. I need to ride and recover for the next day,
Exactly.
and I need to look for my budgeting also.
Hmm.
And I have boils developed on the saddles, because of the saddles on both crotchet,
Hmm.
on the fourth day. And even it was bleeding at some point in the perineum.
Hmm. Right.
in the first few days.
Hmm.
So the sleep is must and recovery is must. So you cannot, I mean, compromise just for the money you ride again or take rest outside. So without a second thought, I booked the room. I slept only for 4 hours. I took a medications for the saddle sores, and in the next couple of days, I'm completely fine. Tackle the saddle sores, and also the knee pains. I purchased in the next big town knee braces.
Hmm.
When I'm going a downhill in the freewheeling, it used to pain me. When the wind hits.
Right. Yeah.
So it was very new experience for me. I never had this kind of experience in the past.
Hmm.
That was the thing that changed the whole plan of riding my 22 to 23 days.
Hmm.
The other thing I faced is, yeah, sleep deprivation is there, but it is certain extent in the later days, not the initial days. On
Hmm.
the third day, I was riding, I think the city called close to the Hamilton.
Hmm.
Um, the sleep deprivation let me, I could not understand what I was doing. Suddenly, the bike flipped on the right side, went off the shoulder,
Hmm.
and there was a small canal and which covered with the steel fence.
Oh,
I hit that, but I did not fall. But I'm balancing. After hitting that, I just removed the one cleat and realized that what is
you went
happening.
off the road. Yeah.
Yeah. So that time, for the moment, I just stopped and everything comes in front of me. What I'm doing.
Hmm. The
So
effects of sleep deprivation.
yeah, then I have to change the plan. I went for the short power nap, and soon after, it is still I'm riding in the west. There are a couple of cars behind me, people who came and asked, inquiring about that, are you okay, it's everything is okay. I mean, these kind of caring people you will see most in the west, in
Hmm.
the US. So this is the second moment.
Hmm.
So soon after, I went for the 7:30. It happened 9:30. I reached next town, and there was a that is again one more surprise. That motel is belonging to one of our Gujarati fellow.
Oh,
Yeah, and there were also couples from Goa.
wow.
Yeah, in that hotel motels they were working. Then I asked, I'm going to stay for 4 hours. Before that, one more rider, transom rider, was staying there. And I just asked, I am going to be there only for 4 hours to rest. And they happily offered me, okay, you don't need to pay anything.
Oh,
You can just fresh up, you can go, no problem. We are very happy to host you. That
nice.
kind of a surprise they gave me.
Nice. Nice.
So that was a bad situation, and followed by that, i I found a pain on the road itself, where I was just took a break. I took a piece of paper, which I had already behind the mobiles. There was some information about the route and distance. I wrote down my all my email IDs, contact number, mine and my wife's, and one of my friends. But till then, did not have anything on the bike related to except the tracker and other things. You cannot track, except you may see the passport, but which does not have any contact number at all.
Right.
So I had to do that way.
Hmm.
You never know, anything may happen.
Correct. Right.
And apart from that, just 2 days prior to the race finish, it was I did not expect. I got a puncture. I replaced the one. It was raining little bit, and the puncture which has got a bit of cut in the tire due to the glass piece, because uh, whenever you are riding in the wet condition, it is more prone to get a punctures.
Hmm.
So I replaced with a fresh new tubes, and there was a glass piece. I removed it. Soon after 30 kilometer, again I got a puncture.
Oh.
So I got another spare tube. Okay, I checked and everything. I put a patch on the tire also. There was a small hole in it. After crossing another 20 kilometer, it is around, see, in Kentucky State, it is around 9 p.m.
Hmm.
Then I try to pay, and I have no spare tubes. I have left out, and I need to patch up the old tubes and get ready. The patch does not hold. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe it could be the temperature, or I also found a bit of leak in the patch solution.
Hmm.
So, however, I made it after filling the air. The portable pump and the air wall comes together, blowing up.
Oh.
It was
Hmm.
really disappointing. Then I tried to fix. It took me another 1 hour, another 1 hour.
Hmm.
So um I moved somehow fixed. I rode another 15-16 kilometer. It was
Hmm.
around say 10-10:30 now. It is raining. Then I thought before I hit, if I want to go, I have to go continuously another 6 hours. I mean, I have to ride whole night.
Hmm.
So suddenly raining, and I'm checking it is half the tire. So I again, okay, so I have no option right now. So it was a good I found before just climbing that mountain. Then I went down around say 1 kilometer, look for the shelter. Luckily, I found there was a couple of houses, and in that one there was some chairs and lights. Nobody was there. Without a second thought, I was checking my mobile. There is no proper connectivity. I slept
Hmm.
for the night. I did not even use the emergency sleeping bag, anything. I just sat down and slept. Morning 4:30 woke up, and I tried to patch up a couple of tires. Okay, let's see what happening. We'll try to go. Again, it doesn't work.
Hmm.
If the patch is holding, then it's leaking air, and if not, the valve is completely coming off.
Coming out.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's 7:30 a.m. now. It's raining still outside. I cannot get any rental taxi. It's very remote to the town, and there is no bus, public transport, or the train or anything. So I just standing in the pouring rain, and I'm just waving up. Somebody can help me, lift or somebody. And couple of them stopped, but they have no other options, to help coming
Hmm.
forward. And one gentleman who was driving down to the next city, he is going to the college. The college bus, a mini bus, has the bike carrier itself in the
Hmm.
front. He was so
Hmm.
happy to help me out. Immediately, I told the story, and he was okay. Let's see in the next town if you can get any spare tubes or any bicycle shop. We went to the next town, another 30 kilometer. There is nothing available. It's a
Wow.
very very small town,
Hmm.
and we also checked some automobile stores tubes. They have a tubes which is not compatible with my
Right.
bicycle. Yeah.
Hmm.
Then I randomly asking the people. One gentleman came forward. He told, I'm going to the next big town which has a Walmart. Okay, I went to the Walmart. It is again another 30 kilometers.
Hmm.
So he dropped me there. He was still waiting. And he said, you just go first, check the spares. By the time I finish my work also, we'll see what is going to happen.
Right.
Unfortunately, there is a tube, but the valve is very short.
Hmm.
So I even tried one more time. Let's patch up. I got a new patching solution and
Hmm.
everything. Because of the previous solution in it, the new patch solution also doesn't
Wasn't
work.
working. Hmm.
Yeah. So I was now almost mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm down. What this is happening now? I finished 6,000 kilometer. I have just left out another 750 kilometer.
Hmm.
The only option right now, I have to go another 50 kilometer down to access the bike shop, which will open 10 a.m.
Hmm.
So I asked the gentleman who dropped me here.
Hmm.
He said he cannot come anyway.
Hmm.
He said, let me try if there is any other option, because I even still trying for the any other taxi which I can. I said, however, whatever you ask, I pay, no problem.
Hmm.
Then it is not possible because it's quite remote.
Hmm.
This person called somebody. He's a police officer who came to me.
Hmm.
He said, you just wait for a while, somebody will come and pick you up, so you will be able to manage the situation, don't worry about. But it took me another 1.5 hour. He dropped me another police headquarters.
Hmm.
From there, someone else picking me up to the bike station.
Wow.
So he says, I cannot go another region border without my chief approval.
Hmm.
So actually, it was for me, I would say lucky, since they dropped me in the headquarters. The chief officer were there, and he gave the approval that you drop him there. Once you finish the job, you pick him up back.
And
You
come back.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you also drop him back at the start line.
Wow. Wow.
So you know what? Almost 90 kilometer up and 90 kilometer down.
Right.
He was waiting me until I finished my breakfast. I did not have a food till in the night 9:30 to morning 11:30.
Hmm.
After I gave the bike is ready, then only I went for the food. Before
Hmm.
that, there was some water, then some apple, a banana was there. It was, I think
Hmm.
I ate in the morning.
Hmm.
So until then, there is no thoughts coming, like how to get over this issue.
Right.
So I knew very well before the race itself, if there is any unfortunate situation, similar mechanical breakdown, I need
Hmm.
to seek help this way only. I need to hire the taxi or get the help of somebody to the bike store. And not only that, I went there. They dropped me back in the middle of the race, that section. And again they connected with the another regional police officer, and he dropped me back at the start line. So
Amazing.
meanwhile I dropped a mail before I took the taxi that I am facing the issue, the mechanical, and I need to go to the bike shop, so I have no other option, I will do the taxi ride
Hmm.
to the organizer.
Amazing.
So
The chain of kindness, that connected you
yeah.
from there to the bike shop and back is amazing.
Also, we were discussing, me and the police officer. So it was like kind of random thought that, like there is something. It is not like, everything what you think it is going to happen. There is some thing that happens for your goodness.
Hmm.
It is not always you look. I mean, you just think that it's just a bike mechanical issue. No,
Hmm. Hmm.
there is some big reason behind this, but we don't do the deep analysis on that.
Hmm.
So it is that way that you have to come back to Damascus. You meet some kind of kind-hearted people, and you go to the start. there is a good reason for you to finish the race. I mean, he
Right.
mentioning that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
very fortunate way,
Hmm.
thinking,
These people,
yeah,
these people had some part to play in your success,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
that's the kind of the chain of kindness had to be linked that way, for it to finish.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
from the start back, I took another 6 hours to go to the same place.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there was a very another kind person.
Hmm.
I took a bike hostel. He's a very old man, maybe around 70 years old.
Hmm.
Um, he prepared my bed and everything. Then I went for some grab some food and the bike the gas station. Meanwhile, he called the gas station and informed that, hey man, there is an Indian guy who is staying with me tonight. He called that a Gujarati fellow who owns the gas station. So he met me along the way. Hey, then there was some nice chatting and sharing moments. Then hey, do you want the Indian food? Okay, just let me ring. Then he calls up his mom, and he immediately in another 30 minutes I'm getting a hot Indian dinner for me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
So I have no, the happiness that I had that day. As soon as I fresh up and I ate that food, I don't put alarm, and I did not even put the batteries for charging. I slept for 7 hours that day.
Yeah. You were tired more mentally than physically, I guess.
Exactly. Then
Hmm.
the gentleman helped me, like the another kind of experience. Even
Hmm.
I booked a big hotels and motels. They never given a laundry facility. He immediately prepared everything that my clothes are ready for next morning within half an hour.
Wow.
But
Hmm.
that day I had only one pair of clothes because I'm going to finish the race. In the middle of the race, I packed my some of the things, reduced the weight, sent it to the
Hmm.
finish line already.
Right.
So I am surprised and amazed by his service, and I paid him $10 tips more. He also surprised. Are you sure?
Hmm.
He just charged me just a $40
Hmm.
for the same service. We pay the different prices in the different locations, like $250 in $100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Amazing.
so that was again another good experience from them. It didn't
Hmm.
stop from there until I
Right.
finished the race.
Hmm.
In another 6 hours, I rode another 80 kilometer. I went for the breakfast at the gas station. I finished
Hmm.
my breakfast, some chicken burger or something. I started some Coke is really tasty. I mean, in the second half of the race, I very often I was having the Coke. It is quick, refreshing. Quick
Nice,
charger. Yeah,
nice sugars and
yeah,
caffeine.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So everything is done. I thought, okay, let's fill some water. I went to fill the water and came back. My bike was flipped down, and I see what is happening. Then a man who was pulling the trolley. Then hey, did you hit the bike? Oh man, I'm so sorry. He
Oh.
was carrying some goods to the store.
Hmm.
Then I checked the bike. Oh, bike is okay. It seems okay. Let's try. Then I shifted the left shifter couple of times. It worked. Then soon after 15 minutes, the gear is in the single gear or the smaller watch chain, and bigger doesn't move.
Oh, the
Luckily, the
front
brake
derailleur is not
is
working.
not working. Luckily, the brake is working.
Hmm.
And then again, another struggle. Then I was searching which is the nearest town.
Hmm.
Then I also saw one of the rider who is coming east to west, riding the TransAm Bike Race. Then I
Mm.
was just checking, stopping, and he just stopped. Hey man, are you okay? No, 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 okay, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just checking something. He stopped for a while and we chatted, and he also suggested, hey, there are a couple of towns, big towns coming, so I think you can access the bikes up to get repaired. I went to the next bike shop, which is another 50 kilometer. I was riding in the small chain ring, but the road was very beautiful and rolling. I supposed to,
Mm.
do short time, which I took double the time with the small ring right now. Then somehow the store will close 6 p.m. I was in hurry. I did not eat. I did not stop anything. I
Mm.
kept riding for another 50 kilometer. I went to 4 p.m. The shop was closed. Then I
Oh.
again surprised. And I spoke to them before coming. Then I saw the someone is coming after the bike trial ride. Then he said, "Oh, we just went for the bike trial ride. We are still
Mhm.
open. Don't worry."
Oh,
That
okay, good.
person came up, and he was a MTB bike make. He checked and everything. He looked for some spares, shifters, etc. But unfortunately, he couldn't get anything. He was searching. Then he said to his the another bike shop man that, oh, it seems his derailleur seems to be broken. I am saying that my bike left shifter has a problem. Then he referred to me to another 30 kilometer, the another city, his known bike make. Then
Mm.
I have to move. I wasted 45 minutes there.
Right.
So
Mm.
again, I have to take a special permission that because shops closed at 6.
Mm.
Then I told him that it would take me another 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. I'm not sure because I have to ride off course also another
Mm.
10
Mm.
kilometer from the route.
Mm.
So he agreed. He will wait for me. As soon as I entered, and he stripped off all my derailleur and the shifters. Oh, I thought he seems to be a good mechanic. Okay, let's see. He will fix it everything. Then after fixing the left shifter, he tried to set up the derailleur. He said, "Hey man, that person didn't see your derailleur. It is working properly. So I will try to use the same one." While fixing the derailleur, he broken something in that.
Oh.
So now he's saying, Sundar, I have no other option. What to do? I
Oh.
thought, I have no idea. You are going to fix it anyhow. I am going
Mm.
to finish the race next day. So you sort it out, please. Then immediately I'm ringing my friend. It's early morning in India. So
Mm.
he calls me back after half an hour. By the time he fixed the other issues, all the bikes, and I connected with my another Indian friend mechanic. He has
Mm.
guided him that you remove the existed derailleur fixing brackets, and then use the another um portable or a kind of quick mountable this thing derailleur. Normally,
Mm.
the bike which I had is an inbuilt derailleur
Mhm.
in the front. He took the driller. He suddenly put a hole in the carbon frame and removing the bracket, the existed
Ooh.
one. Then he tries to fix the another bracket. It touches the tires because I am running with the 28 tires.
Ooh.
Then somehow he found some other kind of a thin bracket, and he did the job nicely till finishing
Mm.
the race.
Mm.
There is no problem at all.
Oh.
But I was literally, I faced already 16 to 18 hours wasted in the previous day.
Oh
And
my God.
today again, it wasted me another 12 hours, including my rest and sleep.
Yeah.
By the time I went to the shopping just to replace my tracking batteries,
Mm.
a dot watcher came up with food and snacks and everything. Hey man, I'm surprised to finding you dot watch here. and my uncle was previous somewhere down in the previous year. He raced the same, so he brought me all I required for the night, including the next day breakfast and some snacks.
Amazing,
So
man. Yeah.
everything is, very surprising. I did not expect all these things. So
Right.
somehow that night I rested in the nearby motels. Again, the motels are very common there. You can find the Indian Gujaratis.
Mm, mm,
So I rested a good sleep, 5 to 6 hours. Then I continued till the finish line
mm,
without a big sleep break
mm, mm,
through the from there on. So there is some power naps, like say 10 minutes and half an hour to 1 hour
mm.
on
But
that. Yeah,
no, so how many days did it end up taking
it
for
took
you?
me 25 days, 20 23 hours 14 minutes, and there is
Mm,
some time difference for uh, west to east. So
mm,
that time there will be a less time, but
correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
this was the actual race start June 4th to
Mm.
June 29th, night 11:14 p.m.
Nice. With all kind of drama with mechanicals and everything, super tension and all that. It ended up taking you to the finish line.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
goal was supposed to finish in at least like say 23 days, 2 days
Hmm.
down the line. So
Hmm.
um, since the breakdown, the good part in there are all the trail angels and the cycling guys along that Virginia road. Every 30 to 50 kilometer, I used to get all the like Gatorade, energy bars, and Coke. And I did not buy food, like for the rest of the distance.
Right. Amazing, amazing. What the this kind of experience is like an experience for a lifetime, literally, right?
Of course,
Uh,
I mean, the it we cannot forget forever, I would say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
At any time,
Mm.
it will flash up. Yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
at the finish
Uh,
line, surprisingly, one of my Indian cyclist, his name is Raja, but he I know him, but I never met him or chat him. But before
mm,
the race, he was following me, and we had a bit of chat. And he was surprisingly all the way down from Washington to Yorktown. It's a couple of hours driving. He was there up for 11:30 to watch me watch my finishing, and it's another surprise. I mean, I could not even take a photograph because I was, last couple of hours, it was a headwinds and cobbles road. I thought of finishing 1 hour before, but it took me an hour extra. I completely blacked out. At the time I was completely, nothing comes in my mind. I'm just,
yeah. Relieved that you just finished,
exactly,
and
yeah,
yeah,
without
yeah.
further any mechanical issues.
After all the dramas, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, amazing, man. So we touched upon your journey from RAM,
Yeah.
2018,
Yeah.
attempt to get to the start line of RAM 2018 to successfully completing the TransAm race in 2023. But what we did not even touch upon is how and when did you get into cycling at all?
Oh, yeah. This was just, it just happened, I would say.
Hmm.
In 2014, uh, one of my friend used to come cycle to work.
Hmm.
He used to come by mountain bike. So we were very close friends. So I used to watch his bike every day whenever I used to go to canteen. I used to watch his bike. Then it just sudden thought, okay, let's start bicycling.
Hmm.
So one of my roommate also, he's right now practicing ortho doctor surgeon, and he also eventually purchased a bike when I bought. So we used to, together ride some distance with the MTB bikes I am, and he used to be ride with the hybrid. So just within buying, like say, I would say around 10-12 days, there was, like 200-kilometer BRM. That time I don't know even what is the full form of BRM. I honestly say
Right.
that private rides, I'm very new to that.
Hmm.
So I went up for that. I signed up, and in fact, I finished that first 200 kilometers ride,
Wow.
and everyone's surprised. And then they asked me how you are able to ride 200 kilometers in just 10 days. Then I said there is some genetic effect for that. And I mean, during my college, I used to work as a newspaper boy part time. Then I go to the college. So I used to ride,
Hmm.
every day, wake up 5 a.m. and then you go for another 3 hours of ride and issue the newspapers and back. So this was my routine around 4 to 5 years during my college days. So this is not new to me, and of course the braver riding is very new to me, and that's how it started. And then when I booked for the new road bike, and everyone was surprised. Are why you are immediately upgrading to the new common bike? So what are you going to do with that? My friends were surprised. So I said, let's see, I have no anything in my mind, let's see. But one thing, it motivated me. That time it was my close friend. His name is Terence Moniz, who is
Hmm.
who used to organize the BRM rides in the past years in Goa, and
Hmm.
he is also a guide. I would say in the initial journey, he was a guide and everything. I'm very new to the cycling,
Hmm. Hmm.
so
Terence played a big part in many people's cycling journeys.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was felicitated by the Goa governor for his accomplishment, the first Goan rider and the first Indian who finished the 1,200-kilometer brevet.
Hmm.
So that was Mumbai to Indore and back.
Hmm.
So I was invited for that felicitation. That was the moment that triggered me, like, so move forward the long distance. And then I started preparing the ramp qualifiers and doing some other long rides. Eventually I had done 5,200 kilometers in 2014, 15, 16, 17 period.
Hmm.
Then after, there are many riders have finished many long rides, and that
Hmm.
was, the I would say the brevet is a bit of picking up period. So many people
Correct.
coming after that.
Correct. Correct.
So I also used to do mountain biking. So I participated the three-stage mountain biking race in Goa, and I was a champion. And I used to do short MTB races here,
Hmm.
and I also take part in some short races in the Masters road race with the Equipe racing team,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, nice man. I think around 2016 is when we kind of connected, and you reached out to me for a bit of
Yeah,
coaching and
yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It
So
was. It is always nice to follow a journey like yours, who which has seen all kinds of ups and downs, and the way you have come about.
and dealing with those really really terrible lows,
Yeah.
and continue to keep working. And it is really heartening to see the way, because it is very easy to face lows like that, and
Yeah.
never be able to get up from those, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm really happy to see you continuing pursuing your passion, by while even taking care of the career aspect, the family aspect,
Yeah.
make ensuring that the balance is there.
Yeah.
I'm
Of course.
glad that the life coaching course has helped me with your life vision, so to speak. And I really happy to see you continuing your passion and in a successful way. uh, and right now, thank you for taking the time and sharing your experience with the Working Athlete podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time as well. I mean, having me today interview, and it was so pleasure sharing my kind of the yeah. I mean, I would say it's a yeah another life that I lived in US for over the 26 days on the TransAm course, and thank you so much.
You are very welcome, and all the very best for your future pursuits of endurance as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That was my conversation with Sundar. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are enjoying these podcasts and are finding them useful, please consider supporting the podcast by subscribing to it on YouTube as well as on your favorite podcasting app. It really helps. Also, supporting the sponsors of the podcast is a great way to support the podcast itself. Thanks again for your continuous support. See you next week with another guest.